Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining this special edition of our Rust and Chamber chat here. We've got Ian Scott here from Aventura World, the president of Aventura World. We're very excited to have him here. Aventura World comes very highly suggested from ACCE as well as Mick Fleming, who we all know and love. So we're excited to have him here to tell us all about Greece in October and November. So with that being said, Ian, please take it away.
Thank you, Lucia, for having me here this evening, and thank you all for listening to our webinar on Greece gods and heroes. This is a fabulous destination. Some years ago, the Chambers used to offer annually what we call an international awareness program. Did a wonderful job heading out to wonderful places of rich cultures and histories and traditions. And Greece in 2021 is no different. It's a cradle of civilization, a land spanning centuries upon centuries of history, a warm and inviting destination, a destination that's currently open to US vaccinated travelers. And yes, a destination that you'll have a time of your life as you're traveling with. Now, in a moment, with the aid of slides, we're going to go through the presentation. We're going to go through and see the hotel. We're going to see the sights and sounds along the way. We'll see things of our cultural discovery series. And we'll also, at the very end, show you how you can sign up for this trip using the registration form or the booking engine that we have on the web. Now, in a moment, as I mentioned, we're going to go through the program. This program is what we call our cruise philosophy on land. What do we mean by that? Our cruise philosophy on land is very similar to getting on a cruise ship, Miami, maybe say in Norfolk, closer to you, over in LA or in a European port, and unpacking your suitcase and taking your crease-sided clothes and relaxing for an extended period. In this case, it's a 7-night period, no constant packing and unpacking. And what's different with what we have here as to a cruise is hopefully our hotel does not move in the evening, but we move in the day. One day we go east, another day south, north or west, experiencing different cultures, different traditions, histories, meeting people, but constantly, again, coming back to the same hotel. No constant packing and unpacking. It's very refreshing in today's day and age. We're going to depart out on October the 30th through to November the 5th, the 7th. A great time to be heading into this region. Greece is very similar to a Southern California climate. It's a dry, arid, sunny climate. Spectacular beaches, crystal blue and emerald green waters. But again, history spanning centuries. And why don't we head out? Oh, before we do though, let's talk a little bit about the environment and a little bit about the world as it is. The world, as we know, has changed over the last year or so. And we're now starting to come out, hopefully, touch wood, of the other end of the tunnel. Now, as we have come into this new 2021, things have started to rapidly change. This announcement came out on March the 14th, that as of May the 14th, Greece would be fully open to US vaccinated travelers. In actual fact, they broke all records. And as per the US Embassy in Greece, on April the 19th, a US traveler that has not been vaccinated can arrive into Greece with a PCR negative test. Now, if you have had a full dose of 1 or 2 vaccines, you can get into Greece now as of April the 19th, a month early, with just your documentation that you have had your full regimented vaccines. You don't need a PCR test to get in. Each day that goes by, additional countries, additional policies are being brought out. And this is a great positive section as we go. If I could have said that in the end of last year that we would already start to have European countries opening up for US travelers as soon as April, I would have said, well, that might be a long shot, but they're all starting to do it now. And if I could have said that I personally would have had both my vaccines by the end of March, I'd have said crazy. That's not going to happen. That's what happened. So now travelers are getting ready. As soon as they get that second vaccine, starting to get an itch, booking, heading out on a travel program as soon as they possibly can. So what this program is going to bring to is spectacular countryside, a history spanning centuries, culture and traditions far different than the East Coast, world famous sites with spectacular food and wine, all wrapped up with a warm and inviting, friendly Greek people. Greek people that have had a romance, and the American traveler that's had a romance with Greece. You'll be welcomed open-heartedly upon your arrival into this destination. All this is mixed up with friends, family members, fellow Greater Western travelers on a fabulous trip to Greece. Day one, we'll find ourselves flying overnight, bound for Athens, and day two, historically in the afternoon, we'll be arriving into Greece's new international airport. It's on the outskirts of town, and we're looking here at downtown Athens. We do not have to head into downtown any longer for the airport. So we will be soon on our modern air-conditioned motor coach for our transfers from the airport to our hotel. Now, as soon as we land, however, before we meet our tour director and bus driver, you'll meet our airport representatives. Our airport representative will be inside the customs area. They'll be showing you where the baggage carousel is, where your luggage is coming from, pointing you through customs and immigration. And as soon as you get through there, you'll be met by our tour director, not to be confused with the airport guide or our tour guide. So our tour director is there to look after you, to make sure that you have a pleasant time on the trip. And if anything can be, if you need any assistance in the hotel, that's what they're there for. So they'll get you to and from the airport too. So as soon as you arrive, you'll be on the motor coach, our deluxe air-conditioned motor coaches for a transfer through to Kineta. Now, Kineta, where is Kineta? This is our home for the next 7 nights. Kineta is really at the foot of this second tee of Kineta. It's about an hour and 15 minutes out away from Athens Airport. And it is on the Gulf right here. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you the Corinth Canal. The Corinth Canal cuts through this particular, this particular section right here. So you'll be able to see, before the canal was built, boats would have to go all the way around here. So just cutting through here and taking a shortcut. So, but that's where Kineta is. And this is our hotel, the Kineta Beach Resort. It's a comfortable, clean, first-class Greek hotel. Offers all the amenities that we need. We've been using it for many, many years. It's on Kineta Beach. It sits in a rural environment with houses and Athenian villas, second beach homes for members of residents of Athens. And these are historically, these rooms right here and these right here are the rooms that we use. They're called the upgraded American rooms, walk-in showers. But there's 2 pools. There's a long, long beach right there, hop skipping away from our rooms. There's elevators in this section. We've got the bar right here with a lovely patio, the dining room right here. There's a second dining room right here. Here's the main entrance to get in there. But again, all the modern convenience you need. Twin double-bedded rooms. Keep that in mind. No kings or queens. Twin or double-bedded rooms in this hotel. We're in Europe. Very rarely do you get queen or king beds. Run-of-the-house basis. So some have sea views. The majority, however, because of the construction of the hotel, has garden view rooms. All rooms have private bathrooms with amenities, shower, hair dryer, flat screen TVs with satellite TV and radio, safe box, the credit card keys, which also control the electricity within the room. It's an eco-friendly hotel. There's Wi-Fi, direct dial telephones, individually controlled air conditioning, and such. Here we are in the restaurant, the main restaurant right here overlooking the bay and the bar. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the program. All your meals are included on the trip. So this program brings tremendous value. Not only do we have meals included, with dinner at the hotel, wine is included too. After dinner, make your way to the bar. All your drinks are included at the bar itself. So cocktails, beers, wines, soft drinks, and juices are all included. The hotel's bar's supposed to close at 11:45. I've never known it close while ever somebody sat in the bar itself. Here's the secondary, a smaller restaurant underneath that white building that I showed you earlier. Sometimes we use this hotel. Here we are, just some of the amenities. We're on the beach, one of the pools. This is the balcony, the patio right in front of the main dining room. This is going to be one of your favorite places, I think, on day 3. You'll arrive day 2, dinner, cocktails, get some sleep, probably wake up early in the morning because you'll be on East Coast time. Maybe at sunrise, head down. The restaurant opens at 6 o'clock. Head down and grab a cup of coffee, maybe some early breakfast. Sit out on the deck here and watch the sun come up. Spectacular place. But that first night, day 2, is a night to relax. And as I mentioned, dinner, cocktails at the bar, sleep. And then the next day we'll have sunrise upon us, have that breakfast outside, and day 3, our touring will start. We'll start with a city tour of Athens. Now, importantly, we could do all our city tour in one run, do one full day, but we felt that we'd be doing you an injustice by doing that. An injustice in the fact that we'd be rushing you. So we've broken our city tour down into 2 different days. And importantly, too, we're an hour and 15 minutes out of Athens as well. So we want you to have the ability to shop in Athens too, to be able to assist the Greek with their economy, with doing a little bit of shop, maybe for evil eyes, gold, leather items, other fabulous buys throughout. But day 3 will start with our city tour, where we'll see the stadium, home of the modern Olympic Games, which was in 1896, not the original Olympic Games. We'll see that in a moment. But this stadium is in Athens and it's still used today. You might find joggers running around, athletes in the middle. We'll continue on to the Arch of Adrian and the Temple of the Athenan Zeus. Head into the Parliament area and see the memorial of the unknown soldier that we're looking at here. And then view some of the spectacular architecture around Constitution Square. Here we've got the Academy, the National Library, and different styles of Greek architecture. Here we've got Plato and behind Athena, in front of the Academy. Here's Constitution Square, the social hub and center of Athens. We'll continue after that to the Acropolis and to the Parthenon. Construction started in 447 BC, and it was at the height of the Athenian Empire. From here, after a steady or walk up, it's relatively, there's some steps, but then a steady slope up to the Parthenon. It holds spectacular 360-degree views of all Athens. We'll see the Parthenon now with our tour guide. Now, our tour guide, that's our third person to look after you on the program. Airport reps, tour director, tour guides. I apologize. There's 4 of them because there's our drivers too. But these guides have forgotten more about Athens, about Greek mythology, about future plans, about present day Greece than we will ever know. And they're a wealth of information. And we'll start by going through the Parthenon and viewing the spectacular architecture and views from here. After our visit here, we'll have a bit of free time, wander, come back to the motor coach, and then head back to our hotel. Dinner, drinks at the bar, breakfast, and day 4, we've got another included tour, this time to the Penelope Peninsula and the Arcadia region. This is some of the best farming countryside in and around Athens. It's a very rich land. It's a mountainous land too. And here we're looking at the town of Arcadia with its whitewashed houses perched precariously on the hillsides. We'll continue on to Messina, a Homeric city, the land of the city of the rich in gold. The emphasis is going to see the Cyclopean walls and the tombs here. And here we've got the Cyclopean walls. For those people who've been to Machu Picchu, you may have, this is Greece's equivalent. These are stones that were carved miles and miles away and placed together without concrete or cement, piece by piece, and they fit perfectly. Some of these walls are up to 45 feet high. It's nigh on impossible to try and figure out how this was done without modern machinery. We'll continue into the royal beehives. Again, spectacular pieces of engineering. Each one of these stones is held together in place by the stone above and the side of it. And it continuously goes up into a half beehive shape. And then the cornerstone, the last stone, holds every other stone in place. This was the tombs of the royalty and the rich and famous, the aristocracy, and an individual would be placed inside the tomb. The tomb would be sealed and then buried. These were buried under the hillside. So for many, many years, nobody knew that these tombs existed. We'll continue on to the ancient theater dedicated to the Greek god of medicine. This is a shot in December of 2019. I was here. The acoustics in this theater is second to none. It's still as its original. The boy at the bottom, at the center of the stage, the round stage there, was from America, and he was reciting a nursery rhyme. His mother was over at the top, right up here. We're at the opposite side, and you could hear every word that he was saying. Now, afterwards, we'll continue on to Natron, which is one of the most beautiful coastal towns in the Athens region. It's known for its quaint downtown, but also the castle that's perched precariously on the hillside that used to guard it against invasion in centuries gone by. The emphasis is on the town itself, not the castle at the top. And time for a bit of shopping. Try to revive the Greek economy. Again, jewelries, great things, clothing items, shoes, local liquors like ouzo, great things to buy here. Afterwards, we'll have one of our cultural discovery series. Our cultural discovery series we have on all our programs overseas. Any company can show you the Parthenon and Acropolis and Delphi and Olympia. But our philosophy is to go a few steps further than that and to learn the layers of a country, to meet its people, to learn of the way of life and interact with people. Whenever humanly possible, bring a little bit of business involved in. And as olive oil production is such big business in Greece, we're going to an olive oil plant. This is a family-run place. It's not huge. It's way off of the beaten track. And our modern air-conditioned coach gets its tires dirty a little bit as we go down some dirt roads to get to the factory. I say factory in the very loosest form because it is small, family-run. You'll find an October is the time when the olive harvest is happening. So you'll have farmers bringing large vats of tubs of olives into the plant on their tractors, trucks, and such things as that. And they're divided up between organic and non-organic. From here, they go through the cleaning process. They go into this big funnel, goes through a washing process. It sorts out all the stems and leaves, and eventually goes into the press format. And here we've got virgin, freshly pressed olive oil right there in front of your eyes. We'll learn of the different types of olive oil. Everything from virgin press, organic, non-organic, to that heated up version that you might find at the dollar store, or what they call over here, engine oil. The last section is all the stones, all the skin from the olives, everything that's left over is boiled and heated up. And then that's when you get that last run, the engine oil, as this entity calls it. This plant only does virgin first press olive oil. They then sell everything off to somebody else after that. We have an educational format. After having some of the olive oil on fresh bread to eat, we go through the various products and all about olives and olive oil, learn a little bit about it. At the end, you have the ability to shop, but the emphasis is on education. But you could buy olives by the bottle. You could buy olive oil. You can buy olive chocolate. You can also buy face creams and cosmetics made with olive oils. And it's a really, really interesting part of our tour. We'll come back to the hotel, dinner, drink, sleep. Next day, another tour. Now, this time we're going by boat and across the Corinth Canal. We're going to cross the Corinth Canal. Now, our boat will either meet at the jetty right in front of our hotel, or we'll go to a small fishing village close to the Corinth Canal where we'll board our boat. Now, we are in the Saronic Gulf. We look across the Saronic Gulf, and we're going to go from the Saronic Gulf over to the Gulf of Corinth and head through here. It's approximately 4 miles in each direction. We go by boat, we turn around and come out the other side. And here we are on the boat itself. It is a fabulous, fabulous experience to be in a canal that isn't controlled by locks. It's unusual. The Mediterranean region, the Aegean, is not a highly tidal ocean. So there's no really ups and downs of the tide like you have in the United States. So there's no locks required. So we'll be vying for position with super tankers and large cargo vessels as we go through the canal itself. And we'll see the cliffs that have been carved out many, many years. We'll see the bridges, the new road bridge, the old road bridge, which is now a pedestrian bridge, and the railway bridge. On the way back, after we get off the boat, we stop right at the canal side itself, and we enter a small restaurant. And we've got another cultural discovery series. Now we're going to be learning about ouzo. Whenever possible, we learn about alcohol in our cultural discovery periods. So we can't have alcohol without something to eat. So usually we have some seafood, maybe some fried shrimp, calamari, maybe some small fried fish, some bread, and washed down with ouzo. Ouzo is the typical Greek liqueur. It's a white liqueur. When you mix it with ice or water, it turns white. Great, refreshing summer drink. And here we are, right in front of the canal itself, right at the restaurant. So now you can see, we've all seen big boats and tankers moored in the harbors, but how many people have seen one 10, 20, 30 feet away going at a full rate of knots? It's a fabulous thing to see up close. We'll come back to the hotel, dinner, drinks, sleep the next day. We've got an optional tour. Well, it is an optional tour, but it's also an included tour as long as you reserve your space on this trip by May the 7th, which, if I'm not mistaken, is next Friday. This tour is to Delphi. Delphi was a very spiritual and very rich pilgrimage site during the Athenian period. It's in the Peloponnese Peninsula, in the hillsides overlooking the valleys that we were in just a few days ago with the olive plantations. And here we are at the Temple of Apollo. It's a steady walk, nothing too hill climbing, steady walk all the way up through the site itself. And our guides will be bringing forth history on the Temple of Apollo, Athenian sanctuary. Here we are at the treasury. Now, the walkway that we wander slowly up was a very opulent walkway. It was adorned with golden statues, spectacular mosaics. The marble work itself was second to none, and the architecture was. And as you went up through the site itself, it just got more and more beautiful. We'll see many of these artifacts in the museum in a moment. We'll see the Temple of Apollo. Now, here we are at the ancient stadium, which is at the top of the site itself. The stadium could be used in today's day and age. The seats are still there. The racetrack, the ground around the stadium is still there. And it's a great, great way to see a little bit about ancient Greece. After that, we'll continue on to the Delphi Museum. Here we'll see artifacts that have been taken out of the museum: mosaics, carvings, statues, earthenware, jewelry. Here we've got jewelry modeled on their original busts. So these are ivory busts where the jewelry would be positioned on in a presentation period in the home itself. Now, there are some items that have been taken to the new Acropolis Museum, which we're going to see in a moment, that are far too valuable to be at a smaller museum, but we'll see those in a moment. Now, come back to the hotel, relax, take it easy. Now, day 7 is an actual free day. For those people interested, you can just relax, take it easy. Sit by the beach, read a book, listen to your music, relax and take it easy. Breakfast will be served at the hotel. And if you do not go on the optional tour to Olympia, lunch will be served at the hotel. If you wish to go into Athens, the train station is about a 1/4 mile walk away from the hotel. In the one direction, it takes you into Athens. The other direction, it takes you to the Corinth Peninsula. Trains run quite frequently, every 45 minutes to an hour. There's a rental car facility at the hotel, which sometimes people have rented cars. Some people have rented minibuses. Some people have just relaxed. But if you want to go and visit the site of the original Olympic Games, this is for you today. So we'll be heading over into the Peloponnese, we're going into the Corinth Peninsula over to Olympia, the site of the Olympic Games. We've all had the opportunity to see the Olympic Games on TV. Some lucky members amongst us may have seen the Olympic Games in person. How many people have actually seen the Olympic Games and the original site? Now that's the question. So here we are, and we're looking at the Temple of Hydra, the Temple of Zeus, the Olympian. And then after that, we'll be wandering down the closing stretches of the marathon run through the arch, the original arch, into the stadium itself, that the original marathon runners would have run one lap around the stadium and then finished the marathon. And here we are inside. You can be an Olympian marathon runner for the day if you'd like, by taking a quick walk or a jog around the stadium itself. It's an awe-inspiring place. After this adventure, we'll come back to the hotel, relax, and take it easy. Day 8. Day 8, we'll be heading back to Athens. As I mentioned earlier, we could have dropped everything in one day, but we chose not to. This time we're going back to the Acropolis Museum, the new museum. It's the pride and joy of the country. It's focused on all the history of Greece, going through from Byzantine, Athenian, all different types of history. Now, for anybody that's any builders amongst us in the on tonight's webinar, you'll count that you're lucky to be a builder in the United States, because when you see the Acropolis Museum in Athens, you'll understand what I mean. It's a beautiful building, and I'm sure we could make a beautiful building like this anywhere in the world. But every time they dug in and around this site, they came across ancient Athens. When ancient Athens is found, they have to stop work, and archaeologists have to come in and start looking around and making various assumptions and digging around. So you'll find that this is an unusual museum. You can see here these people looking through glass flooring. That's ancient Athens underneath. They left the ruins of ancient Athens underneath. You'll see houses, you'll see streets and alleyways all throughout the museum. It's all there, and it's a fabulous way to not only see the exhibits in the museum, but underneath the museum too. Now here we'll be seeing Bronze Age items, Roman, Byzantine area, as well as the Athenian Greece. We could spend an entire day, 2 days in the museum itself, but we'll be going in and seeing the most important and most famous artifacts within the museum itself. And here you can see ancient Athens underneath the museum itself. Now, after our visit to the Acropolis Museum, we'll be going to a local restaurant in Athens. We'll have lunch. Now, after lunch, we'll have some free time. Well, first of all, we'll head to the Plakia district, which is the UNESCO Heritage Historical Section. If there is a historical section of Athens, because everything here is historical, but it is the old town section of Athens. And after a short guided tour underneath the Acropolis itself, we'll have some free time to wander, do some shopping in the local markets, maybe go and do a little bit of shopping in the local jewelry shops. Jewelry here, especially gold, is 24 karat or 18 karat gold is the least quality that you can get in Greece. There's no 9 karat, 12, 14 carats. It's 18, but predominantly 24 karat. Evil eyes are great things to buy. And that evening we'll come back to the hotel, and before we know it, day 9 will be upon us, and we'll be heading back to the airport for our flight back to the United States with memories of and visions of ancient Greece, Greek mythology, as well as historical Greece. All this mixed together with friends, family members, fellow chamber travelers on a wonderful trip to Greece. Welcome to the family of Aventura World. When you travel with us, you're safe and secure in our hands. Our guests have been since 1972. Now, what do you get for this particular program? We believe you get a lot. We class ourselves as the leader in value price first-class programs in the United States. And after stating what you get in this particular program and the price for the trip, I hope you agree with that statement. You get round-trip air from Washington Dulles. You get 7 nights in first-class Greek hotel. You get 20 meals, all your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get drinks in the evening, non-alcoholic drinks and alcoholic drinks in the bar, as well as wine with dinner. You get all your sightseeing as long as you sign up on May the 7th, except one, because you get your 2 Athens tours, you get the Corinth Canal, you get the Penelope Peninsula and Mysia, and also you get Delphi. The only optional day is to Olympia. You get our cultural discovery series, ouzo, olive oil. And we also have questions and answers and discussions by local experts. We have a discussion on Greece and the euro by a college professor from the Athens University. We also learn a little bit about the Greek way of life, and the Greek way of life is very different than the rest of the Europeans. We have a professional tour director on the program who's going to look after you in the hotel. We've got our local guides and drivers who've forgotten more about this destination we'll ever know, as well as airport representatives, deluxe air-conditioned motor coaches, baggage handling for one piece of luggage to go underneath the aircraft and in and out of the hotel. It's $28.99 a person, double occupancy. Single supplement is $5.99 for single supplement. You can watch whatever you want on the TV in the evening without an argument. Fuel surcharges of $536 a person are included. Having said that, taxes and fees are an additional $150. Fuel surcharges are subject to change. I don't foresee them to be, but that's a possibility. Now, this price of $28.99, it includes Delphi. And again, that's a special as long as you sign up by on or before May the 7th, next Friday. After that, it goes up by $100 to $29.99. And if you want to go to Delphi, it's $169. So I strongly encourage you to sign up before or on May the 7th and save $269 a person. Now, the activity level of this particular trip is a class 3, is the way we class it. Class 3 means that there's some walking tours, there's some steps, there's some cobblestones or uneven surfaces, on and off of buses, but that's really about it. We believe that the majority of the American traveling public would be able to take care of this particular program. Now, while we're there, many people say, hey, I would like to go to somewhere else. I'm already there over there. So why not go to Santorini? Santorini is our extension. It's a 2-night extension. We'll go from Picaneta, and those people who are going home will wave goodbye to them, and they'll go to the international section, and we'll go to the internal domestic section. And we'll say, why didn't you come to Santorini with us? And they'll be looking longingly and saying, we should have done. From the airport, we'll take a short 45-minute flight over to Santorini, a volcanic island, spectacular views down below. The extension is from November the 7th to the 9th, 2021. 2 nights in a first-class hotel. You've got the flights from Santorini to Athens. You got daily breakfast. You've got a tour of Santorini, including wine tasting. You've got a tour director on the program. We've got baggage handling. Now, the price of this is $799 a person, $1,098 single So it's $7.99 double or $1,098 single. The first day is a travel day. We'll land, we'll head to the hotel, relax, take it easy, and just drink in the views of Santorini. Santorini is a volcanic island with steep cliffs all the way around it. All the houses are built precariously on the cliff face itself. Sunset, relax. Day 10 will find us on our island tour. Prolifice is our first port of call. And from there, we'll see spectacular views all around the island. Hotel, airport, and throughout the island itself, 360-degree views. Pygos is the next, multicolored houses that slowly go up to the top of the hill where the Greek Orthodox Church dons the summit. We'll continue on to the wine museum. Wine throughout Greece over the years, especially the last 10, 15 years, have gone leaps and bounds, and they have some of the best wines in Europe now. And we'll be learning of the wine history, and we'll have some wine tasting too. We'll continue on to Huya, which is the quintessential Santorini shots, the whitewashed walls, the narrow cobbled streets, small shops, multicolored buildings, the typical sky blue walls and domes, which Santorini is famous for. Before we know it, we'll have been there for 2 days, and this is our last night. The second night, we'll see our last sunset. Day 11, we'll find ourselves flying back to the United States via Athens with spectacular memories again of cultures and histories and traditions and beautiful coastal scenery and some of the world's most famous sites along the way. Visas are not required for American citizens. A passport with 6 months left on it and 2 blank pages is all you require. 6 months left on it from your last day of the trip itself. And as I mentioned, currently, American travelers that are vaccinated are allowed to get into Greece without any issues. I know somebody will ask me if I don't state this, what if you're not vaccinated? Well, yes, you can get in currently with a negative PCR test, but I do, for my own reasons and my own conversation here, if you wish to travel, I'd strongly encourage you to gain your vaccinations. It's going to be less hoops and less issues for you to confront if you get your vaccinations. Now, how do we sign up? I'm going to do this very quickly. It's pretty easy to fill out. And before we move any further, I'm going to state right here, you'll find Alicia's telephone and contact details right here. And you'll find a booking number, a booking address, a web address here, and a booking code right here. We'll talk about that in a moment, the booking engine. You'll also find it up here on the reservation form at the back of the brochure. But your name as it appears in your passport. If you don't have a passport right now, or your passport will run out, please don't wait until you get your passport to sign up. We assess that the fall of 2021 will be the biggest last quarter in history, most probably, but at least for sure for the last few decades. Why? As of last month, the majority of Americans have not traveled outside the country at all. The demand is huge. So our reservation agents are working overtime, catering to American travelers wanting to head overseas this fall. My point is, if you know you want to go, please sign up sooner than later to avoid the disappointment when this trip sells out. It's not if it sells out, it's when it sells out. So as a result, don't wait for your passport to come back. Put your name on the registration form. If you have a passport, put it all in here. But if not, when your passport comes, get your passport out to Alicia and then she'll get it over to us. Your address, email address, home phone number, cell phone. If you're filling this out, this paper form out, please, could you use your Sunday best handwriting and put it in caps. It will really help us. We get single, double after that. Tick which one you'd like, and then circle twin or double if there's two of you in the room. Then who you're sharing the room with. So John and Alice Smith are on this trip. John fills this out, indicates Alice Smith under here. Alice fills one out and indicates John Smith here. Now we know how to, we corresponding who's in each room. Notes after that. Anything you need to know about, we need to know about you as a traveler, please let us know. Dietary needs, low sodium, fat-free diets. If you've got a family member who lives in Florida, fly me out of Miami, for example. You don't need to be in and around the Reston area to go on this trip. You might have a neighbor who moved to LA who wants to go. Fly me out of LA could be dropped in that box, okay? Then we get into the optional tours. Yes, if you're signing up before or on May, you don't need to do it. May the 7th, don't need to do anything here. But if you want the Olympia tour, tick that box. Yes or no. Santorini, yes or no. And then put the total up. Again, before or on May the 7th, 169 here. You don't, if you want both of them, you don't need to add the price here because it's included. After that particular May the 7th, yes, there's a price there for the Delphi. Now we've got a worksheet, one before or on May the 7th, one after May the 7th. The only difference is $100. This is designed as a worksheet so you can understand how much the insurance premium is. The insurance is based on the price of the trip. So here's the price of the trip, double occupancy. Any optional tours that are here, so 169 if you want to go to Olympia, put here. Single supplement, single, if you're a single, put your $5.99 here. If not, $0. Santorini, if you want to go to Santorini, put $7.99 here. Add those taxes and fees, and that's the amount that the insurance would be based on. So I'm just going to say, for the heck of it, just the base program and the taxes brings us into this first figure here, and it brings us into the premium policy of $221. Cancel for any reason insurance at $331.50. Now let's talk about that. I hope you all take out the insurance without a doubt, and I hope you all waste your money on it. Why do I say that? Well, you're not going on this trip to see if insurance works. What was that insurance like? I wanted to try it out, see if it works. No, that's not what you're going on this trip for. You're going for adventure, fun, camaraderie. Get away. That's what you're going for. So if you need insurance, something has stopped a little bit of enjoyment. You know, you've got sick, you've had lost luggage or something like that. And I'm hoping, touch wood, it's only a little bit of inconvenience has happened to you. But that's why I say get it, but I hope you waste your money on it. The premium policy, the $221 based on that price we mentioned, covers cancel for a reason. So medical, before the trip goes, should you fall sick, should an immediate family member fall sick, hopefully not, a death of an immediate family member or yourself, and a doctor or medical professional states you can't go on the trip, it should cover that. Medical on the trip itself, trip interruption, travel delays, misconnections, emergency evacuation, or taking you to a place that has expertise for whatever you have. Lost baggage, personal effects, baggage delays. You can see a link here. I'll show you where that link is in a moment. Here's a telephone number and a tour code. Now, that's the policy. Now, cancel for any reason has all this included, but you pay a supplement for the ability to cancel for whatever reason you want. The dog ran away and I can't go without the dog. I got a really bad haircut and I don't want to be seen in public. Such things as that is cancel for any reason. Now, there are rules and regulations with cancel for any reason. If you want cancel for any reason, you must reserve the cancel for any reason policy at the time of initial reservation. And you must cancel 48 hours before you go. After 48 hours, it becomes cancel for a reason. So you lose the cancel for any reason possibility, but it just drops in here. Now, if you take the cancel for any reason and you cancel for any reason whatsoever, the insurance policy gives you 65% of the penalty amount. I'll show you where the penalty amount is in a moment. However, we value your business and we value the Chamber's partnership, and Aventura World will give you 35% of the penalty amount back in future credits. So you're actually being taken care of 100% if you take the cancel for any reason, as long as you take it at the time of initial reservation and cancel 48 hours before the trip departs. If it is for a reason, if it's a medical reason, you're going to get 100% back from the insurance company itself. So you'll see right here, there's the file. You'll be able to view the policy right there. You can see the different types of the price here, the premium at 120, and here's the cancel for any reason right there. Yes, I'd like it. No, I'm not interested. Please tick one of those boxes. It's important that you do tick one of those boxes. We get into how much do you need to pay for your deposit? We need $600 per person for your deposit, plus whatever optional tours that you buy right here. So if you sign up tomorrow and you want to go to Olympia, plus $169. So it's $769 in that box. Then we've got extension. If you want to go to extension, it's $799 in here, or if you want to put for two people in here, $1598 right in there. Then we've got travel protection, either standard, premium, or cancel for any reason. Again, I hope you waste your money on it, but I strongly encourage you to take it. Deposit, and then add those three up, and that's the amount of money per person that is, or per couple, whichever way you want to do it, that you'll be reserving your space with. This amount here goes down here into this section right here. We take Visa, MasterCard, Discover, as well as personal checks made out to Aventura World and dropped into the mail to go to the Chamber. Card numbers here, security, expiration date, and such things as that. Now, we're a company of change. We've just been able to negotiate with the insurance company this cancel for any reason, but also we did change our terms and conditions. So we want you to be able to take benefit of the early bird special and save that $269, but also all the way through until 121 days before you go, our policy covers you. So you can cancel and gain a refund of your $600, the optional tours that you paid, the optional extensions that you paid back from us, all the way up to 121 days before you go. Okay, do keep that in mind. Having said that, the insurance is non-refundable once you tell us to buy it. It's working for you, covering pre-existing conditions, covering you should you not be able to go, and such things as that. So again, take the fact that the insurance is valuable, and you've wasted your money as soon as you take the insurance policy out. I'm going to give you an example here. For the last 20 years, I've taken 3 trips a year, except 2020. So I have taken 60 trips in the last 20 years. I take insurance out every time I go, every time. I've only used the insurance twice. So in all aspects, I've wasted my money 58 times. But I can guarantee you the time that I had it, those 2 times, the insurance was the most valuable thing that I've ever had. So here's our policy. So you'll be able to see the penalty is right here, that the insurance, the cancel for any reason, would cover. The amount, signature, date, get that over to the Chamber. Now, here we've got our booking engine at aventuraworld.com/booking. You'll come to this page. If you've never used our booking engine before, you will need to create an account. First name, just like Amazon, first name, last name, login email, your email, and then put a password in, confirm the password, and then there should be a box down here. You'll put whatever code is here, put it in the box, it's case sensitive, and then press submit. You will then automatically get this, and it will say, thank you for your registration. You will receive your an activation email pretty soon. And that's what will happen. And this will come. Verify your email address. If it doesn't come within 5 minutes, it should come in with less than that. Either you copied your email address wrong, or it's in your spam. And it's probably in your spam. Check your spam, click on this verify, and then voila, this will launch. You're now active. Drop in your email address, your password, put in whatever codes under here, log on, and now you can set up your account. Start by, so I'm going to say I'm setting up my account. I'll put all my details in my account profile, my name, address, date of birth, and such things as that. Then I'm going to save, move on. My passport information, save, move on. Additional travelers. I'm going to put my wife in there, hypothetically. I'm going to put my kids in there, hypothetically. I could put my sister in there and her husband if I really wanted them to be on my account. Their addresses, their passport details, dates of birth, and such things as that. Save, move on. And now you're ready. Your account has now been set. And now you're going to take that booking code from the brochure and drop it in here and press enter. And voila, here you are in the booking engine. It's going to have a little bit more personalization. It's going to say, it's going to have, first of all, the right departure date, and it's going to have the Chambers logo here as well. But now you can go and book the trip, and it's all plug and play because you have now created an account with us, and it's a secure account. Please let me assure you of that. So you're going to go to number 1, and it's going to have every passenger, every person that's in your profile there. And you're just going to, you're going to then, excuse me, somebody's calling me. And then you're going to just check, put a check mark on who is traveling. So I'm traveling, my wife's traveling, or one of my kids is traveling, hypothetically. Save, move on. What type of rooms am I going to have? I'm going to have one double room and I'm going to have one single room. And it's going to say, who's going to be in the single room? My son's going to be in the single room. Save, move on. The gateway section. Air is included out of Dulles. There's nothing else for you to do on this one unless you're that neighbor who wants out of LA or Miami. There's a box in there and a tick box and says, provide me air from. And then you'll type in what gateway it is. Save, move on. Optional tours. Do I want the Olympia tour? Do I want to go to on the extension? Save, move on. This time, Wheel of Fortune might be coming on. Jeopardy or something such as that. You can stop the process. You can log out and go do whatever you need to. Have lunch, have a drink, dinner, and come back. And it is saved. So you'll log back on, and now you can come and do your travel protection. Do I want the insurance? Do I want just the standard premium, or do I want the cancel for any reason? Who wants those? It'll say which persons, who wants them. Click, save, move on. Review of all the booking, put in a credit card after that, send. We gain your booking. You'll gain notification that we are in possession of your registration, and at least you'll get your name, telephone number, and email that you've reserved. Again, it's a secure site and nice and easy. We certainly, you'll join us on a terrific travel year in 2021. And let's open up for questions. I know we've got a couple of questions in the chat feature, and the weather is going to be, the weather's going to be in that mid-70s in the day, dropping down to mid-60s, high 50s in the evenings. The flying time out of Dulles, give or take, is going to be about 8 to 9 hours, depending on the flights that's used. And we are on the Euro itself. I'm going to ask right now, if anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself if you'd like, and I'll do my best to answer any questions if anybody has any questions. If not, that concludes the webinar. Anybody would like to unmute and ask any questions?
Hi, Ian. This is Laura. I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So on the tours for the different tour destinations, what's the average size of the tour group? Are they large groups, small groups? Does it vary based on the season and the location? What's the average?
Great question. Currently, now we don't know if we will finish up in operation, but currently we are using social distancing travel guidelines. So right now it's on a 50 to 55 seater coach, it's 25 to approximately 30 travelers per coach. Again, we must monitor and we must follow rules and regulations of the destinations we're visiting, i.e. the countries. But that's what we intend to do right now. Whether we end up on that, if it's necessary or not. General rule of thumb, we on a 55 seater coach, we don't have more than 42, 43 people throughout the world pre-COVID. There may be multiple buses on the program, but our intent is each Western traveler will be on the same coach.
Thank you. And so how does it work if you have other guests who will be traveling with your party but are flying out of a different airport? Let's say pick a city, Philadelphia. Does that change the price at all, as airfare is included with the package price?
We can't really, again, another great question. We can't really say what the price will be until we find out what the gateway is. We have low promotional group fares on all our programs, and sometimes we can get that same fare brought out to a neighboring place like Philly. What we do say is if somebody wishes to go on the program, fill out the form completely, whether it's online or whether it's with paper, submit it, including payment. If you don't like what we bring back at the end, we don't charge you and we don't penalize you in any shape or form. But we do need official names and we do need passports and payments to be able to process to start with. If it's an LA or a Miami, for example, we do our best to have those people on the same flights with you internationally, but sometimes it's crazy for us to do that. There might be a better flight for them to go on a different route, but we will provide transfers for those individuals to and from the airports if they buy their air with us. If there's a connection in Europe, we do our utmost to have them connect with you flying out of the gateway, in this case Dulles, and then fly that shorter leg with you.
Okay, that sounds like a logistical nightmare, so I would be happy not to take care of that myself.
It's what we do.
And I have one more question for you. So you mentioned that if you cancel your reservation within the 120-day window or whatever the case is, that the insurance that you purchased is non-refundable, which I understand. But what if, God forbid, the country decides to close back down again if there is an outbreak of COVID, and the trip is just canceled? Are you still on the hook for the insurance money, seeing as I'm sure it costs your company something to purchase that? Or is that refundable if it's canceled due to, natural disaster and or pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I've got a crystal ball here, and it doesn't work. It's right here, so it's really difficult. One of the things we found, and I'm sure that you and anybody that's listening to this can attest. Last year, we all found that there were so many things out of our control. One of the things that was within our control was planning. So we came out with the scenario that if we plan 121 days before we go, we know you've got a greater you can sign up and you've got no exposure with the money that you pay for the trip itself. If you wish to not say cancel for any reason, you can take the premium, the cancel for a reason, all the way up until final payment, not after final payment. So you can still look after yourself with an insurance policy, but as long as you do it before final payment. But what I would suggest, because I really can't answer that question because it's a what if question, and it's really difficult to get what if questions, is I would strongly, if you're concerned about that, take either no insurance or cancel for any reason insurance. And cancel for any reason will give you the opportunity to go all the way up until 48 hours before the trip goes, and you would be taken care of 100% with a mixture of refund, 65% refund by the insurance company and 35 from us. But it's one of those things that you haven't, if you don't claim on the insurance, you haven't lost the insurance. It's just not refundable. We'd be able to get it placed on another trip on another year, for example, if you wished.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
That's it. Yes. Then I thank you all. Alicia, anything from you? But if not, I thank you. And I certainly hope you all come on this trip. It's a fabulous, fabulous destination. I've had the joy of going on this trip on numerous occasions. Take care, everybody.